me, Shary. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. If you're new, welcome. Welcome into my channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. I haven't been putting out too many videos lately, and I'm not going to go into why right now. But I just do want to introduce myself and give you just a little quick background and some direction and some ideas I have moving forward on my channel for spring and summer season 2021. First of all, you're going to notice I'm outside. I'm not in my craft room. So anyway, and if you're returning, welcome back. As always, welcome back. My channel for quite a while has been, I'd say the bulk of it's been a planner channel, and I really enjoy doing my planning, and I love my planning. And I've got my 2021, this one actually only goes up till August, but this is my plum paper planner. You're gonna see a lot of planning in here, and I've got a whole stack of books in front of me. And you might wonder what direction we're going. Well, if you know me at all, you know that probably besides my grandkids and my family, my biggest passion is gardening. We're obviously getting into the spring, which makes me so happy. We're the far eastern side of California, very near the Nevada border. But we are high desert, we are at the base of the mountains, and we have a very unique growing climate here. So without further ado, let's just get started. Okay, well, as I mentioned, I've been a planner channel for a couple of years. I started out, I'm gonna say it was either 3 or 4 years ago now, mainly just a lifestyle kind of vlogging type channel. And one thing you'll see a lot from me, especially moving forward in these summer months or warmer months, is a lot of camping, gardening, and fishing. That's pretty much my life. And I love to kayak. So you're gonna see those things coming up, a lot of those coming up. But I thought what I would do now, I did want to touch on, never mind. Planning videos have become a challenge for me, just in the sense of planning, decorative planning, sticking stickers on pages and planning. And I think a lot of that just has to do with 2020. You know, in 2020, I think like a lot of people, we just didn't have anything to plan. But anyway, I thought it would be a lot of fun this year, this season. It's going to be a spring and summer 2021 series, and you are going to see me at my desk. You're going to see my overhead shot. A lot of it is going to be planning in my planner, in this planner, okay? And then some of the other resources I'm going to be using, because I'm going to be focusing on gardening in our area, gardening in the Eastern Sierras, the Owens Valley of Bishop, Big Pine area, California. We live in Big Pine. We're between Bishop, Independence, Lone Pine. Mammoth is up north about 60 miles. So we have very unique gardening challenges here. And so I want to share with you where my references are going to be coming from and how I'm going to be basing my information. And hopefully these are just going to be tricks and tips. And I thought to myself this morning, I came up with a pretty good idea. I'm mostly going to be pulling from in our area, and I guess all areas have the UC Master Gardeners outreach through their colleges. I've wanted to join that, but I just haven't had the opportunity to become a Master Gardener. And this one comes from our area. This is the UC Master Gardeners of Inyo and Mono County. So I'd like to start off by saying I am not a master gardener, but I am a master mistake maker. I've been gardening here in this area for, oh my gosh, probably 40 years. And I've made my share of mistakes, and I still do. But hopefully I can learn some things from you, and you can learn some things from me. So my materials, my information, I will always link where I get it from, no matter what book it's from, no matter what website it's from. I'll always put the links below. And one of the reasons I decided to sit outside today and film this rather than inside is because, as you can see, we're a little bit breezy. And wind is a big, big part of our gardening here. So that's one of our challenges. We have blazing bright sunshine that burns plants like it does your skin. We have very cold winters, too much calcium in our soil, either excessively drained or poorly drained soil, and wind, lots of wind. So let me start by showing you, let me go a little OG on you. And this is gonna kind of show you, this is what's left of, this was my mother's Western Sunset Garden book. And I have another one, I think got disintegrated. So I think that's why I'm using hers. We have been big, big, big proponents of the Sunset Western Garden books. And these were our Bibles. So this, my mom's still has her name in it. And you can see I've got, well, I can't see. I've got tags from all kinds of things I've planted over the years. Some of them are still in my garden, some are not. According to the Sunset Western Garden book, this is where zones can be confusing. We were always zone 11 in the Eastern Sierras. Well, I was going back and forth on that, trying to figure out just exactly, I don't know how much it matters what our zone is, because New Mexico could have the same zone we have, but yet have different gardening challenges. So anyway, my OGs are my Sunset Western Garden books and always will be. And you can tell this has spent decades and decades in the garden with my mother and myself. According to the USDA website, typed in our zip code, and they say we are 8A. Well, according to the UC Master Gardeners website, we are 7B. So I think I'm going to be sort of sticking more with the 7B for the purpose of my videos, because most of my information is going to come from local sources. I think that's the most important. So I got this Gardener's Companion several years ago at the nursery, and it's all pertaining to our local area as far as, let me turn this around and show you. It's got our freeze dates, spring freeze dates, fall freeze dates, special topics. I don't even know if this is still available. You may want to look it up. I can put the link to it below. But we're divided into high desert, low desert, and high mountains. So we are high desert here. So those are the guidelines that I will be going by mostly. So that's why I say most of my stuff is going to come from the UCCE Master Gardeners of Inyo and Mono County information that I can get out of this book. My printouts, I went ahead and printed out a bunch of stuff this morning. Owens Valley Growing Guide. And what I'm going to do is put that notebook together with you and then jot down some of the things I've already planted. I've got 2 flats of seeds in already. Today is the day that this is some information I printed off of it's the National Gardening Association. So these gave some dates as far as our area and planting indoors, and planting your seedlings indoors. Some of them are, a lot of them are around March 24th, which is today. I happened to do mine a couple of days ago. So you're going to see me put this notebook together, and my hope for this video is no matter where you are, whether you're in California like I am, you're in Northern Nevada, you're back east, we can learn from each other. And that's what I love about gardening. I watch garden channels year round from all over the world. One of my favorite gardeners, if you don't know him, his name is Charles Dowding. This is one of his books. It's just his gardening diary book that I bought over the winter. I love Charles Dowding. I got turned on to the no-dig method of gardening, and that's exactly how I set my current new vegetable garden that I set up late last year. So I didn't get a full season of vegetable gardening in my no-dig beds, but I will this year, so you're going to be seeing a lot of that. So Charles Dowding is one. He's in the UK. So I watch gardening channels from all over, and even if their planting seasons, their planting times, things like that don't correspond with ours here, you're still going to learn something. There's always something to learn. So I think at this point I'm going to get some lunch, and then I think I'll head into my office studio craft room area where I do my filming. That way I can set my camera up, do the down view, and you can help me and watch me set this up, and hopefully get some encouragement for yourself. I'll show you what I've planted already in my seed trays, and this is just the first planting, so we've got lots to go. So anyway, you guys, thank you for joining me. I hope something of what I've said here makes sense. I hope to reach the gardeners in the Owens Valley and Inyo and Mono County and learn from each other and make this season a successful season. But let's focus on productivity over perfection. Well, none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. I doubt you're perfect. My garden is never perfect. I don't know that it'll ever look the way I want it to. I've lived in this particular house myself for going on 16 years, but the family, this is my mom and dad's home, so it's been in the family since long time ago. But yeah, whether I'll ever get my garden looking the way I want it or not, I don't know. But every year I work a little harder and I get a little closer, I guess. So anyway, I'll see you in my craft room, and we'll do some overhead shooting and set up some fun information to start our 2021 spring summer series. Thanks for joining me, and remember, productivity over perfection. All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Shary. I'm back in my office, got my overhead camera set up, and I just remembered I'm filming on a new camera today, so hopefully everything will go well. I am starting a series. This is going to be episode 1, and it's Gardening in the Owens Valley Spring and Summer 21 series. And this is just the planning the garden episode 1. It's the very bottom, the basic, the putting together a couple of notebooks, writing down a few notes, showing you some reference material that I'll be referring to. You'll be seeing it a lot on my channel. So if delving into some gardening ideas, this video isn't as much about that as it is just getting set up, but hopefully as we move along in this series, we're all going to learn something. So if gardening in the Owens Valley in the spring and summer 2021 is of interest to you, stick around. We'll get started. Okay, I thought what I would do first of all, I did reference it in the entrance to my video. You're going to be seeing this a lot in my videos. It's a gardener's companion for the Eastern Sierra, Topaz, and Tecopa. I bought this years ago. First edition looks like it was 2015, but it's presented by the UCCE Master Gardeners of Inyo and Mono Counties. As I mentioned before, I am not a master gardener, but I am a master mistake maker, especially in my garden. Now, I've been gardening here in the Owens Valley for 40 years, and I still learn new things. So if you're new, hang on. Let's go through this together. We live in a very challenging area to garden, but we also live in a very beautiful area to garden, and we're very blessed to be here. So I'm just delving into the very beginnings of this, which are going to be our frost dates, and I've written a little bit down. I'm going to show you in my, it's kind of irrelevant what brand it is, but it is a plum paper planner. I've been in this planner since September. We are now into February and I've started some notes. So I wanted to show you, I did cover something up there that I previously had, but I did want to show you where I noted here that I planted my first set of seeds in the cell packs on Monday, February 22nd. I'm not saying there's any specific day. I did go by dates according to the National Gardening Association. I want to show you what I've planted for spring and summer so far. Now, what I'm going by and what you're going to want to go by, no matter where you're at, whether you're in California, Wisconsin, Michigan, Florida, we all have different challenges in different areas. And then obviously some areas like Florida probably don't have frost dates, but we do. So what I've determined here is, I was a little confused and I did reference it earlier, the Sunset Western Garden Book versus the USDA cold hardiness zone chart. Best I can tell is they call Bishop, which is the bigger city right here by where we live, Zone 7B. We are about 15 miles south and slightly lower elevation. According to when I put our zip code into the USDA zone finder, we come up 8A, Bishop comes up 7B. We're two different zip codes, but we're 15 miles apart. So take that with a grain of salt. I'm just going to sort of settle in there and do whatever works the best. But according to the freeze dates here for our area, and I'm just going to use Bishop. I'm not using Mammoth or Bridgeport or anybody else right now, because this is what will be pertaining to me and my garden. And if you're in the vicinity, then it should pertain to you hopefully as well. So the probable earliest last frost could be as early as March 6th or as late as June 10th. Now we have about a 70% chance of it being somewhere around April 24th, 20% chance of May 18th. I've seen it snow on Memorial Day. So, you just never know. You just never know. But there are precautions you can take if you've gotten your seedlings well established, you've got some protection in your garden. I more than likely will probably put my veggies into the ground probably more around this April 24th, but we'll wait and see. If the weather's looking pretty nice the first couple weeks of March, we don't have any freezes out in the say couple of week range future. If they're ready, I may put them into my gardens. So what I thought I'd do real quick with you guys here now, I want to write down, I want to go through with you, and excuse me while I shuffle papers here. I'm going to write down what I've planted so far, and then I'm going to show you how I set up another notebook for inserts and information that I'll be printing off of the computer from various places and sharing with you throughout this series. So let's get started. I hope there's not too much glare. Okay, so what I got planted so far, I'm going to show you. These are just a portion. I have what I call my seed pantry, and I'll insert a clip of that at the end. I'll put all this back together and I'll show you a shot of my seed pantry. But I did plant some Brussels sprouts. So I'm just going to make a list of what I planted. Most of the seeds, I just got them at the Home Street Bishop Garden Center yesterday in Bishop, and I'm trying Renee's garden seeds this year. I did pay a little more for them than I have for seeds in the past, but I'm okay with that because I love supporting new businesses as well. And I'm so excited to have a sort of revived new nursery for us here locally. So I did plant my broccoli. So I did broccoli rabe and I did broccoli calabrese. So let's go ahead and write broccoli. And you're going to see I have a couple different pin colors. I had a pin start to give out on me. They're my favorite erasable pins, and they don't write real dark either, but calabrese. And I'll show you videos and pictures of these as they're coming up. Right now, everything's just in the cell pack, and nothing has come up, obviously, because it's only been 2 days. And this is a broccoli Rob. And I did some Brussels sprouts. Okay, so those were, and I keep these alphabetical in my seed pantry. So that was the broccoli. I did only one cauliflower, and it is a purple crush. I can't wait till these start to come up, you guys. I'm so excited. I love to see the seedlings pop up. Purple crush. Eggplant and kale is in this container. So I did eggplant. Let me see. Let's do the kale first. Kale, and it's called Purple Moon. And most of these are organic. I noticed not all of them say USD organic, but I know these are very nice seeds, these Renee's Gardens. So not all of the seeds are Renee's Garden, but the majority of them are. So kale, we've got Purple Moon. And these are the cooler season. Right now, we're starting on the cool season veggies, also known as cold crops. Purple Moon. So yeah, these are the ones that are going to tolerate a cooler temperature. And they could start to bolt when things get warmer. But some of these will carry on into summer, like the eggplant, peppers, squash, tomatoes, things like that. But we'll go there later. So, and then the eggplant. This is going to be pretty. So if you're in need of seeds, go by the Home Street Bishop Garden Center. She's got some really beautiful seeds. And this is called an Italian Trio. I've always loved to grow eggplant. I don't know why. They're just, to me, they're just beautiful. They're gorgeous. And I love how in the UK they call them, what do they call them? What is, oh, good grief, now I'm not going to remember. Aubergines. Yes, they're aubergines. I think it's spelled Aubergines maybe, but they call them aubergines. So eggplant Italian Trio. I planted, I believe, everything's outside right now, but yes, the only kohlrabi that I planted was this Crispy Colors Duo. I have some open from last year, but I did not plant those yet. So we're going to go with our kohlrabi. So that was the only kohlrabi. I'm trying to get through this fairly quick, so I'm not taking too much of your time. But I have not put these back into, did I do spinach yesterday? Yes, I did. So I only did, this was the only one I had open, so I didn't open any more. It's the Bloomsdale Longstanding. So I did do spinach. And you know what's great about doing this is if you have a really fantastic crop, you can go back and you can see what you used. Or if it didn't work out so good, again, you can see what you used. So I did leeks, I did some onions, and I did some green onions. So let's go with the green onions, also known as, I'm just going to put green onions because I know what that means. Also known as bunching onions. And these are just the evergreen. I'm just going to put evergreen. I grew these last year and they did fantastic. So I started some of those, and I will, as the season moves along, be planting a lot more of the green onions in various locations you'll see around my garden. And then I did leeks. So the green onions were not the Renee's brand, but the leeks are. So they're German leeks. And these are just an onion, so it's a long keeping onion, Rainbow Trio. And these are tomatillos and tomatoes. So the tomatillo I planted is it's called Two Color Fiesta from Renee's. Now I did tomatillos last year. I've had great success with them in the past. I didn't have success last year. And so tomatoes, I'm just going to put here tomatoes. Tomatoes I did. This was an older pack. That is the large cherry tomato, an older pack of regular cherry tomatoes, an older pack of Rutgers, and then a newer pack of Summer Feast, which looks like a rainbow different color pack, and then an heirloom Gostoludo Genovese. I don't know. So let's start with the Renee's first. We're going to go heirloom Summerfest. So heirloom. Those are going to be fun because they look like they're going to be, I'm going to put rainbow. Doesn't say rainbow, but that's a reminder to me. And then I'm just going to put a Rutgers because that's what I had. I didn't buy any more. I'm using what I had from last year. I still have more left. Beefsteak and then I'm going to put a large cherry. Okay, so that is it for tomatoes and tomatillos. So tomatillo and tomatoes. These are so handy, you guys. Here's where I got out of, you're going to see where I got out of alphabetical order. Lettuces, I'm just going to put, as you can tell, I'm doing a lot. Now see, the tomatoes, peppers aren't going to get, they're probably not going to get put in the ground as early, but my leafy greens will. So I did a salad select blend. I'm going to put select salad blend, which looks like a nice, I think I did have these seeds from last year, but I don't think I planted these. So a select salad blend, which looks really nice, a combination of green and red. I also did a black seeded Simpson, which is a green leaf. I'm just going to put green leaf. Oh, yes, I did a butter crunch. And I didn't do, maybe I did do romaine. Okay, I know I did a butter crunch. And I might want to add to that everything, I'm going to put romaine, that I planted was in a really nice seed starting mix. So it has, I think, perlite, verculum. I can't think of it offhand. And a wetting agent. So yeah, they're from the nurseries, so they're good seed starting mixtures. And this one I thought was really cute. Heirloom cutting lettuce, flashy trout back. Check that out. Look, he looks like he's a trout. So I'm going to put flashy trout back. Flashy trout back. Where it really gets fun, you guys, is when we start getting these. And that, there's still a little bit left there. Okay. So those were the lettuces that got planted. Peppers, I only did, for right now, I only did this one variety. And I have Chilenos on order. So this is a Southwest Chili Trio. So that's going to be fun. See what we get out of that. I can always add more later, but I did want to get some peppers and some tomatoes started. And then bell peppers, I only did this one, which is, it's kind of, I'm just going to call it a rainbow. Bell peppers. Because if these do well, and usually my bell peppers do, I'll get several plants out of what I planted here. And then last but not least, and these did not go into the cell packs because I forgot them, and I put them into individual little containers, was my Asian greens. So let me put these here because they're down here with the lettuces. I love growing Asian greens. Baby Napa, which is Little Jade. My writing's getting a little bit sloppy. Sorry about that. Some pak choy. And this should all be plenty for the cool weather. And then I'll replant these in the fall. And this one I thought was especially pretty. It's a rosette, and it's an heirloom Asian green, and it's called Rosette Tatsoi. Asian greens are in, guys. Asian greens are in. Okay, try not to let these spill. I should probably staple or tape them, but they actually stay pretty darn good in my seed pantries. Okay, so for the bulk of these, some seeds have fallen out, random little seeds here and there. Most of these indicate planting, like I said, February 24th to March 9th. Onions, you can set out March 5th. So anywhere, yeah, they just kind of vary. So what you want to do if you're looking for things online is, you know, just kind of find what you want for your area. As I said, this list comes from the National Gardening Association, and then the others may have some various different dates, but anyhow, that is what we're going to do with these for now. And then the last thing, so we've got all this listed. We've got everything we planted. So everything that was planted on the 22nd is there. So the other thing we're going to touch on is putting together a small little notebook that I just had sitting around the house. And we're going to put in all of these printouts I have gone ahead and laminated because, number one, I like to do that. This is printed off of it. I went to the Master Gardeners, the UC Master Gardeners Facebook page, then I went to their website. And so all of this information in here came from that website. So I'll link that below. This is a Zone 7B, Bishop and Owens Valley, 4,100 feet. Owens Valley Growing Guide, courtesy of Owens Valley Edible Gardens. So I'll link that website as well. Some garden tips, we'll go over some of those later. I just wanted to show you what I've printed out so far and how I plan to use it. So that's going to go in the front. I goofed up on the holes there, so I had to repunch them. Oops, but that's the Owens Valley Growing Guide. So that's going to really be handy. As I mentioned, this is just getting it set up. I might do one video where I just talk about the garden tips. This printout I thought would be useful. Inyo Master Gardener Favorite Vegetable Varieties 2010. This just gives you some names of vegetables that the Master Gardeners had tested and found to do well here in the Owens Valley. And they list them by either name or type. For instance, beans, a blue lake, they're heat tolerant, prolific, tender, freezes well, and good raw. So this is a great reference and a great resource. There's two sides here. Let's see what they say about the lettuces. Butter Crunch does good. Romaine, Four Seasons, Royal Oak Leaf, cucumbers, Armenian Lemon, Oriental Express, Straight 8. And you just look on the seed packs to see, you know, unless somebody gives it to you in a little Ziploc bag and you don't quite know what you've gotten, that can happen too. But it also goes through and it tells you semi-mildew resistant, just a real good breakdown of the history, particular problems, things that they liked about them. And then over here, a little breakdown of tomatoes, what's the best flavor, what's the best disease resistant. We'll go through all these. I'll pick a video and we'll just go through tomatoes. We'll go through things one by one. And please feel free in the description box below to put questions or ideas. If there's certain things you want to see, Shary, can you do a video just on the tomatoes that are recommended for our area? And I'm going to tell you right now, that doesn't mean I have experience with every single one of them. I probably do with a number of them, and it varies from year to year. But right now, we're just starting our season for 2021, and it's a good reference point. So if you want to see a video just on tomatoes or just on bell peppers, please let me know, and it will give me a good direction as far as planning out my content and research gathering for you guys. Also shows you if they're especially productive, widely available, and then some comments. So obviously something that checks all the boxes is going to be good, like a Better Boy. I remember my mom growing Better Boys, but they have good flavor, they're disease resistant, they're productive, and they're widely available. Another one that checks all the boxes is a Celebrity. Another one on cherries is a Sweet 100. So it just gives you, and Sun Gold. I did Sun Gold last year and they did exceptionally well. You can see some of the other ones here don't fare too good. They've got some good flavor, but they don't produce very well. So Early Girl doesn't have the best flavor, but they do produce early. They're widely available and they're disease resistant. So just a lot of information there. So that's another thing that we've got to look forward to. This is another video I plan to do. So you just moved here. Welcome to the Eastern Sierra. This is going to give us a little breakdown of what does work here, what we have here, what our growing seasons are like, what doesn't work through trial and error. things to try. Also gives you links to websites and pages. Common vegetable problems in Inyo and Mono County. Aphids, definitely. Squash bugs, yes. Earwigs, yes. Tomato hornworms, yes. Stink bugs, I haven't had a lot of trouble with those, but check it on all the others. So there's some more information we can go to. Environmental problems, soil, cool soil, poor fruit set, bolting of greens and cold crops, onions, flowering, and bulbing. So just various information there. This again, great growing tomatoes in the Owens Valley. And this is an article that was written by Master Gardener Carol Lynch. We can reference this. We can go through this. And of course, anything I do like this will be linked in the description box below of who I've referenced for what information. I just want you to know and be sure that you know that that is something I definitely put a lot of information into my videos. And if I slip up and I miss something, don't hesitate to let me know. But that's probably packed full with information. Onions and alliums. Who doesn't love onions and garlic? I mean, we live on those things. So there's a great other video idea we can do. I mean, and this is just scratching the surface. I didn't even print out, this is just all I printed out so far. Leeks, shallots, scallions, chives, harvesting and curing, pests and disease, bolting, yields. Just a lot of information on onions, leeks, garlic, those types of things. And then, oops, thought I was done. That was the back of that page. These, as I said, this came off of the National Garden Association. It's sort of what I went by for spring, and it gave me some information about cold crops like broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage, lettuce, spinach, some ideas on onion starts, potatoes, and peas. Do you want to grow tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant? So that will go through there. And then this, as I said, was what I went by to plant these vegetables. I went through with you the ones that I did plant so far. These are for fall. If you want to replant again in fall, which I always like to do, we'll be into a whole different realm at that time. So guys, I think that's going to be it. Wow. Remember I mentioned wind before? Can you hear that right outside my window? And my birds were just out here singing so pretty a little bit ago, and now the wind picks up, and there's the Owens Valley for you. So anyway, you guys, I hope you're looking forward to this series. I'm looking forward to sharing with you some of my garden journey, and I'm looking forward to learning from you, conversing with you. Yeah, I just really don't know what else to say, but as I said earlier, don't strive for perfection, just strive for productivity. Let's set our sights and our goals this spring and summer for good produce, good productivity. Our gardens are not going to be perfect. We're going to get bugs. We're going to get wind. We're going to get cold snaps. We're going to get a lot of things that are out of our control. We're going to get excessive heat. We're going to get situations and times probably where our tomatoes won't set because it's too hot. There's just a myriad of things. I also want to go through I started last year doing my own, making my own compost. So we're going to be touching on that, and I'll show you what I use for that, how I get it started. I need to add another composter to my composting bin, but we'll get into that later. So anyway, you guys, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Hit the little thumbs up thing, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. Take good care, you guys, and get out there, get your seeds, and let's get to gardening. See you in my next video.